Let's get people aware that this is going to happen. All right. I might have screwed that up. I did. Not suitable for anyone under 21, period. Done. Anyone save. Oh, goodness gracious, it's already boiling hot out here. Now let's go find it on YouTube. This is what you have to do with Streamlabs. This is why we need to get Chad/Yardism over that 1,000 mark. Of course, he's got a stream deck so that he can do most of this. Alright, we are going to share this with a tweet. Alright. Now, let's see here. Alright. Yeah. Hey, howdy. Not even sure who you are. Glad you could make it. Anyways, hi, I'm Voodoo. This is my channel. I do what I want to do. Today, I'm going to be smoking a little pipe tobacco. And I'm going to give you a story. One story. Maybe two. Depends upon how fast this happens. So let's start with a little background. I'm a boiler inspector in the state of Texas. With that comes a set of responsibilities to the state of Texas, as required by the state of Texas Boiler Division. Now, setup, reasons I was there, where it was. I will even name the brewery. This might get me canned from any job, and I don't care. This is just a straight up statement of fact of what happened. So as boiler inspector, you make a promise to be at a location at a given time on a given date, and you show up for it. There's this little brewery, Fort Worth, Texas, called Miller. Did I just name it? Yes, I did. At the specific time, don't get me wrong, this has been a few years back. I know for a fact this is over 5 years ago. Oh, look at me. I'm looking disheveled. What I get for driving a convertible this morning. But hey, I believe if you're experienced buffering, I am very sorry. It's on my end. Don't worry, I'll be off of here before then. Wait, coffee? Yeah. I did coffee. I did coffee in a convertible Mustang this morning. It was cold brew. I'm all lit up now. It had a horrible taste, but man. Oh, you're not hearing me. Okay. Wait. So that I can catch Steph and Skip up. Little brewery in Fort Worth called Miller. They invited me to come do a boiler inspection. That because the guy who went in there previous didn't ever finish out the paperwork, they had 3 boilers that needed an extension that were actually running in violation to state laws. Ouch. Wow. Found that out. Got this to be an express quick. We got to get it done. They had 3 other boilers that were water tube, and somebody sold them fire tube burners to replace their old water tube burners. Unfortunately, fire tube burners and water tube burners work differently. And the fire tube burners messed up some refractory. And that had to be repaired. So they had technically 6 boilers out of 6 under violation. And there I am, trying like crazy to get this to happen. They asked me to be there at 5 o'clock in the morning. Hey, not a problem. Hour and a half drive from where I was. There I am. 5 o'clock in the morning. Actually, let's call it 4:45. I'm walking in. Howdy. I am who I am. Here's my credentials. Hey, you're back. You're front too. Ah, Perique Piper Skip. So I have both Steph and Skip in here probably. Good seeing you. I'm looking forward to y'all's 11 o'clock my time show. Don't worry, I'll be off of here before then. All right. So I go in the front doors of this brewery. Anybody who missed it so far, you got to rewind and start watching the first 15 minutes because I guarantee it's in there. Oh, noon my time, 11 your time? Or is it 1 my time, noon your time? I'll figure it out. I'll just keep watching. I'll set a reminder. I'll check it once an hour, every hour. So there I am walking into this brewery. 4:45 in the morning. They wanted to start at 5. I'm like, hey, that's perfect. Not a problem. We'll go ahead and do this. First thing I do is I go check in at the security desk. It's a big brewery, and they don't want a lot of people just walking in. Hey, I completely understand. $1 million a day type of operation. I wouldn't want anybody just walking in either. I set down my credentials. I'm like, hey, just need to talk to somebody in the boiler house. And he says, they're all in a meeting. You can't talk to any of them. I'm like, okay, I'm supposed to be here at this time of day. I'm sure there's somebody in the boiler house that can come talk to me. Because by law, I've got to figure out a why if we're going to even do this today. It's a prearranged boiler inspection. This is not something that you just sort of kind of do. No, you arrange these things months in advance. At least 1 month. And there I am. I'm trying to make sure that they don't get shut down. What do I mean by shut down? I mean, the state of Texas has the ability to have the fire marshal show up and lock out any property at the curb. Water, electric, gas, sewer probably. It's their big stick. The problem is, it's a 90-day wait to go from the bottom of the list to the top of the list so that your day in court can be heard so you can get those locks removed. Now, I said this was a $1 million plus a day type of an operation. I might be off by a couple of dollars, maybe a few cents, but $90 million is what we're risking here, right? That's what we heard. That's what I heard. That's what I understand. So I'm in there trying to ask the security guard to just get me somebody on the phone, whatever. They can come up. I don't have to go in. They just need to come and talk to me. And he's being like completely, I'm not going to help you out. I don't care who you are. So I explained to him the situation. That's fine. I've got an appointment. I actually need to talk with these guys. If I can't talk with them, I'm forced by Texas law to contact the state. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that at all. Plus, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. Do you want to call the state boiler inspector at 5 o'clock in the morning? No. Nobody wants to call that guy at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm not going to give his name, but trust me, nobody wants to call that guy at 5 o'clock in the morning. And he had just taken over as the chief boiler inspector, so if he needed to make himself a reputation of being don't mess with me, this was the, oh my God, perfect opportunity. And I was trying to explain that to this security guard, that he's forcing my hand to do something I don't want to do. And this is the possible of what could happen. He kept saying, no, I'm not going to help you out. Not going to do anything for you. And there I am, I'm looking at him. I'm like, you realize that you're talking about 90 plus $million that you're putting on the line because you won't pick up that phone and contact the boiler room and ask them to send a representative up here to talk to me. As long as you realize that that's what you're risking, then fine. I will follow your statement. I will leave. But know that once I get out in the parking lot, I'm going to give you exactly 15 minutes. Then I'm going to dial that phone, and by law, what you're forcing me to do is contact the state. So I'm giving him till like 5:30. He actually tells me to leave still. I'm like, well, okay. It's not my ass. Now, at the time I worked for a company called FM Global. That comes into play here in a second. Needless to say, about 14 minutes and 30 seconds, there comes a knock on my window. I am literally about to hit send on calling the state. I am literally, the numbers are all pushed in. All I have to do is hit the little green button that sends the phone call. And this guy is knocking on my window screaming, no, 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 no. It's one of the guys from the boiler room. They escort me in. I do my inspection. I go on about my day. Later in the day, I get a phone call. We need you in the office right now. Okay, I've got one inspection lined up before I can show up, but as soon as it's done, I will be on my way. Not a problem. Do that one inspection. go to the office. Happens to be up in the Dallas area, which is why I could go to the office. I get there. I go into a room with my boss's boss and somebody from legal. Now, I know right now they're looking at trying to fire me because I obviously pissed somebody off. Come to find out, security guard says I was threatening him. He went and ran it all the way up the ladder to Miller Coors. Miller Coors ran it over to corporate for FM Global. FM Global ran it back down the ladder to the local office. And they were going to try and fire me. So here's how this all went down. I walked in, saw who it was in this meeting. One of the guys is the guy who hired me. I looked at him and I said, I know what this is about. And I pulled the boiler inspection license, 2 of them. One for the state of Texas and one for the national board. I pulled them out of my pocket. I threw them down on the table. And I said, when you hired me, you told me 2 rules. Rule 1, protect the license. If you don't have the license, you don't have a job. I don't need to go into the second rule right now, do I? And the guy was staring at me. He was looking at me. I could see this set of anger in his eyes. When I told him that I'm protecting my license legally by state of Texas rules, what I told that security guard is the God's honest truth. He was forcing my hand, and I tried to get him to see some sort of sense, and he didn't. I don't care. I still got the inspection done, so no big deal. No harm, no foul, right? And then they'd say, well, you're not supposed to threaten anybody. I says, I wasn't threatening anybody. I was telling them what I was required by law to do and what the possibilities of the ball that they set in motion can be. And I was trying to explain to this guy I didn't want it to happen. He's still looking at me, but he realizes at this point there's 0 he can do. So he comes up with, well, you should have at least called the office. That way, we could take care of the situation from our end. And I looked at him and I asked him the single most important question. I'm sure some of y'all have figured it out. Who's in the office at 5 o'clock in the morning? To which I was told, nobody's in the office at 5 o'clock in the morning. Okay, so if nobody's in the office at 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm required to do exactly as the state requires me to do without any possible corporate representation from my end. Because I'm protecting my license so that I can keep my job. Legal closed up his little book and walked out of the meeting. I stayed in the office the rest of the day, finished up some reports, and then went home. Yeah. Now look, never went back to Miller Coors after that day. They assigned it to somebody else. Have fun. Tell you what, really well run place. I hope those guys in the boiler room are still doing very well, because they took care of their stuff. Clean, well-run facility. Man, I hope they don't ever get into that situation where a security guard thinks that he's bigger than the state of Texas. Because he's not. And anybody who shows this to Miller Coors, look, I'm sorry if y'all are upset about it. I'm the guy that damn near got you shut down. And I didn't want to do it. I didn't even want to attempt to do it. All I tried to do is not get you shut down. 6 boilers in violation, no paperwork. That was enough for the state to take care of it. So, that's all been cleared up. That's a long time ago. Let's not even worry about that. But as I said, I'm going to make these videos. I'm going to tell the truth. And if somebody feels that they have to get on to me about it, they're welcome to try. The truth is exactly what the truth was. Hey, for anybody out there at FM, if y'all decide to look at this and say that I'm being bad to y'all, no, I'm not being bad to y'all. When y'all basically got a lawyer who's probably looking at firing me, and my manager, not my manager, but my manager's manager, and that's who I'm in the room with, I know I'm on the block. But your own rules were protect the license at all cost. So I had to do it. I was telling this guy, I'm not about to lose my license so that I can keep my job. And I don't want to. But I will if I have to. Report y'all to the state. I don't understand. Sometimes people can't figure it out. Look, man, pick up the phone, make a call. All you got to do is make a call. That's all I was asking him to do. Make a call over to the boiler house. Now I'm going to tell you how funny it was. The boiler house called up to the security guard and asked him if I had checked in yet. Because I told them that I would be there by at least 5 o'clock, but probably early. And the security guard obviously, at least reported to me by the guy that came to get me from the boiler house, he says, yeah, I already sent him away. He doesn't have the proper credentials to get into our facility. Proper credentials was an OSHA 40. Now, the OSHA 40 class is kind of important. It means that I know about safety rules. Okay. I got to go take a 40-hour course to do less than 10 hours total time in their facility a year. Yeah, that makes sense. And then what's going to happen? They're going to get back charged for it. Crazy, crazy. Anyways, that's as close to the truth as I can honestly report and remember. Now, I say report and remember. Let's remember this is about 5+ years ago now. And some of the exact wording is a little off, but for the most part, the exact events were just laid out about exactly as I described them. All right, so I'm 32 minutes and 56 seconds in. Smoking some Balkan Sobrani. Or maybe it's Sobrane. It's not even an English word as far as I can ascertain, but if I'm allowed to say it wrong, please forgive me. All right. Well, as I can see, Steph and Skip are going to get set up for their live Labor Day event. And it's kind of a good thing to get in on. They've got a GAW going, and I think I'll see about placing 5th. If Chad shows up, best I could do is 2nd. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, y'all have a good one. Judge me if you want to. Y'all take care. I'm going to get off of here and fiddle around for a little bit. Catch Steph and Skip. Cheers, Skip. Hug Steph. And anybody else who chooses to run in here, y'all just remember one simple thing. Long lives, big bowls, and long ashes. Y'all take care. I'll see you soon.